this is Pat Walker at Mission Winners, and we're doing a video of the leading stocks in the top 10 groups. This is not an opinion, it's a fact. Leading groups produce leading stocks. And people say, well, that sounds a bit redundant almost. To a degree it is, but it helps with our focus. And our goal is this: constantly developing an edge so that we know what's got the greatest likelihood of making us money. That's what we do. So here we go. I'm going to show you this real quick. Here are the top 10 groups: manufacturing, biotech, office supplies, semiconductor equipment. Well, you can read. I won't read you. That's an insult. But here they are, right there. And what I'm going to do, you can take a screenshot of it if you want to. These are the top 10 groups in order. Now what we're going to do is we're going to slide this out, and we're going to take a look at the leading stocks. Here's the first one on the list, Vertex Vrtx. It's got great numbers. Earnings per share ranks 97, composite ratings 99. One negative, I have to tell you, it's biotechnology. Biotechnology. Be careful with individual biotechnology stocks. I'm not saying they're not going to go up. That's not my point. But what I am saying is any news can crush them. Good news can lift them up, but just be cognizant of it. Here's the number 2 stock in the group, Biogen. Biogen lifted here, had a good pop, up on good volume, going sideways right now. No really clean entry at this point in time. Maybe in a couple of days there will be. Number 3 stock, Emergent Biosolutions, going sideways. This has a composite rating of 95. Earnings are due in 12 days, just to let you know. By the way, one thing that's really nice about this company, they're making good money. Last quarter's earnings were up 120% and sales were up 80%. That's what you want to see if you want to mess with biotechnology, just for what it's worth. Next stock on the list is REPH. This is Recro Pharmaceuticals. And it's going sideways, form kind of a little cup and a handle formation here, all right? It's got an earnings per share of 55. It's got a composite rating of 92 and a relative strength of 97. Last quarter's revenues were up 38%, has no earnings, okay? Just for what it's worth, no earnings yet. Maybe they'll turn around, but it is individual biotechnology, something to be aware of. The next stock on the list is Principio Biopharma, right here. Lifted up, all right? And again, this is another one. It's in a leading group. That's why it comes up on the screen. All right? It's a leading group. Doesn't have any earnings. Doesn't have any sales. All right? Am I saying that's going to continue? No, I don't know the future, but the analysts are still expecting losses coming into this year of 2020 still. So, but there it is. There it is. Just for what it's worth. Might trade thin, so be aware of that. All right? The next stock on the list, semiconductors. Semiconductors, here we go. Semiconductor equipment runs up, pulls back, kind of loose here, okay? I mean, look at this bar. Every price and volume bar talks. Look at this bar. This is a great lesson. Gaps up, reverses down. Meanders around, gaps up, closes in the bottom half of its range on volume. Falls a couple days, starts to lift off. Just a bit sloppy. Just a bit sloppy. Be careful with this, all right? Be careful with action like this. You like clean and simple? Right here. Going across these tops here, that's clean and simple. This, not so much. All right, here's the next one on the list. Cabot Microelectronics, CCMP. Popped up. You could say, what caused this? Earnings. That was earnings. Gaps up, runs up, closes up just a little bit. And what do we have here? We have an inside day. This stock has a composite rating of 98, and so that's good. That's constructive, just for what it's worth. The next stock on the list is ACLS right here, Axcelis. And this is also in the semiconductor equipment group. This popped up on earnings. There's the open, that's where it closed. Closed strong on a good pickup in volume. Now it has an inside day on less volume. It's got an earnings per share rank of 72, but it's got a composite rating of 92 and relative strengths 94, very strong. So perhaps it will lead to an opportunity. Maybe it'll form a pennant. We'll have to see and see what happens. Next stock in the group is Integris Semiconductor. Popped on, look at that. That's earnings. Popped up, closed strong on a heavy volume. They bought it, folks. It's got an 8+ accumulation distribution. Earnings per share ranks 93. Looks good. Perhaps in a couple of days, it will form a pattern for a lower risk entry. At this point in time, it's a bit loose. See how look at how tight this is right here, right in there, versus this zigzag. You got to be careful with that, just for what it's worth. Next one on the list, Algonquin, Power and Utilities, AQN. You can say, well, what is this? Alternative energy, other, all right? Renewable power generation. And it's kind of grinding up. This had a nice base here, fell on heavy volume there, all right? And then bounced back up. Look at this pattern, though. Are you going to see this in any books? This is loose. This is loose at the time, so be careful with it. The next stock on the list is Nextera Energy Partners. You can see the name up here, by the way, just so you know where it is. That's also Energy Alternative Other. Now, this one's got great earnings last quarter. 228% increase in earnings and a 33% increase in revenues. Has a composite rating of 94. Look at the chart. Up on decent volume, down on less volume. Up on a pickup in volume, down on less volume, down on less volume, up on a pickup in volume. Perhaps it'll form a little shelf here and be a candidate. And again, it's in the top 10 groups. We like those. We like those. Average volume is 370,000 shares a day. Accumulation distribution is A. Next stock on the list, Churchill Downs. Oh, we're getting ready to go out there on the horses. How about that? This is just grinding up right here. The stock has an earnings per share of 87 and a composite rating of 99. Slowly lifting. Only does 201,000 shares a day. So my bet is this stock, that's a bad pun, I'm sorry. Yeah, it can be. Let me look here real quick. Hold on. This is for you. Got some thin bars in there where it doesn't do any volume, folks. Each one of these bars, that bar did 400 shares in 5 minutes. 400 shares. All right? And it has spots in here where this bar here, that bar right there, it did 200 shares in 5 minutes. It's great when it's going up, but I'll tell you, when it drops, it can really clip you just for what it's worth. Be careful. Next stock on the list. I like this, by the way, okay? Dexcom. One negative is sometimes it trades a little thin. This stock's got an earnings per share rank of 77. It's got a composite rating of 98. The highest you can get is 99, all right? Great numbers. Last quarter's earnings up 261%, all right? Revenue's up 49%. Composite rating, as I said, is 98. Just hovering right here. Just a heads up for you, earnings in 5 days. You need to know that, okay? Earnings coming on this stock, just going sideways, which is constructive. The next stock on the list, Massimo, all right? Medical Systems Equipment. Stock has an earnings per share rank of 97, composite rating of 99, marching on up the 8-day. Look at the 8-day. 8-day exponential moving average. Love that moving average. Is there any clean spot here with this at this point in time? No, it's a little bit extended. There's nothing perfect here with this, okay? Just for what it's worth. So just wait. Wait for the setup. And the next one, CCOI, all right? Cogent. What do we have at Cogent? Earnings are coming out in a couple of weeks. It's got an earnings per share rank of 97 and a composite rating of 94. Relative strength 92, leading the stock into new high ground, which is good to see. There's nothing wrong there. But look, is there a clean entry here? Is there a spot here? No, there's not. I want to show you a great lesson, by the way. Look at this. Stock breaks out on good volume, runs up, pulls back, comes right down to the 8-day. What could be a setup? It bounces off. This is a great lesson. Could it bounce off the 8-day with volume? And it does. Look at this. It bounces off the 8-day with a pickup in volume. That is a buy signal right there. It's aggressive, but it's a buy signal. This is a lesson for you. And it follows through. Isn't that neat? And look at the volume picking up. That's what we teach. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you. There's a video review of the stocks with a composite rating of 90 or higher in the top 10 groups. And I hope that helps you. We take it far deeper, all right, with VIPs, but I wanted to share this with you. And I thank you, and I hope you all having a good weekend.